how can I be right? And there's a question in a teaching called Nonviolent Communication that asks, would you rather be right or would you rather connect? Which echoes a very sweet teaching from the poet Rumi, which is where the title of the talk comes from. He says, beyond right and wrong there is a field. I'll meet you there. To meet, to really connect with each other, to see each other, to hear each other, to be able to listen, means to move beyond our ideas of right and wrong. Otherwise, we're just seeing our assessment of someone, our assessment, our judgment of ourselves. And we don't need to do that. We don't need to judge ourselves. We don't need to worry about whether we're right or wrong. It's a little bit like, I think, a often confused teaching from the Bible. The story of Adam and Eve. It's all great, isn't it? Everything's there. Beautiful garden. And then this tempting fruit of thinking you know what's right and wrong. And then suddenly, hey wait, not in the garden anymore. We've somehow gone into the attic. And we're watching a little screen of our minds, our ideas of how we should be and how things should be, how things should be. And people wonder, how do I get back into the garden if I'm in the attic? The answer is to come back downstairs, to come back into a heart space, to remember our tremendous, tremendous, infinite capacity for love. A love that can't hold on to any concept of right or wrong. It's beyond that. A love that's even beyond forgiveness, because no forgiveness is required. We didn't really make any mistakes. We didn't really do anything wrong. We just got that impression somehow from someone else who was confused. Right? You know, our parents were confused too, right? Our teachers were confused. So much confusion. That's all. You know? And a lot of Eastern philosophy would just say, well, it's just a little mistake, right? A little confusion, a dream. How do we wake up from that dream that we did something wrong or we did something right? How do we wake up to that? How do we open our eyes? And that's what yoga is about. Opening our eyes to see the garden, to see the beauty in everyone, in everything. To really fall in love with life once again. In this way, yoga as education, as well-being, is quite revolutionary. It can transform the world. We see the young people in the videos, right, earlier today. We've heard the accounts. We've experienced ourselves. Anyone who's done even a little bit of yoga notices how it opens everything up, how life becomes easier, how we're able to connect with ourselves, with each other. We become more playful, right? Apparently, according to a little Facebook meme, Einstein said that research is the highest form of play. No, the play is the highest form of research. Yeah? When we're all very serious, when we're competing, when we're trying to get it right, our systems are closed. We can't receive information. If we're able to play, to expand, to be in our fullness, to be full of joy, so much more comes in. There's space to receive. We're each invited to open the doors, to let the light flood in, to let the information come. rather than standing at the gate trying to decide what's allowed in and what's not, what's right, what's wrong. All that stuff, that habit that we picked up somewhere on the way. So we embody that. We show that with our being. We allow ourselves to be that. It's ultimately very simple. Maybe if you haven't had a little experience of that so far, or you'd like to try again, we could have a little practice coming downstairs just now, if you like. So maybe letting the feet come to the floor. Let the eyes close. Become aware of gravity, which is just love by another name. The earth that never lets us go, but lets us do just what we want. The spine lengthen, the shoulders broad and soft. Release the jaw. And let the right hand come to the heart center. The very center of the chest. The place we touch when we are touched. The place we point to when we say who we are. Yeah, if we do this, it means something else. Pointing to the heart. Feeling into that space. Each in-breath, allowing the heart to expand. Each out-breath, softening into the heart. Breathing in love. Breathing out ease with all that is. Breathing in, let the heart open. Breathing out, melting into the heart. Breathing in love. Breathing out ease. The heart open and soft. Infinite and sweet. Breathing in love. Breathing out ease. Let the heart grow. Let it blossom like a lotus. So soft. Gently coming back to the physical body. The awareness still in the heart space. And when you're ready, allow the eyes to open. And perhaps take a little look around and see the beauty in everyone around you. The light that's shining out through all the eyes. Yeah. Yeah. A room full of light. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say? Or anything they'd like to ask? Or did that explain it all? Any questions in the mind? No? Okay. Yeah. So what happens when we go into schools with open hearts? When we go into our communities and our meetings? Maybe we have some idea that there's something that needs to be protected, that we need to hide something. But what if that thought isn't true? What if there's nothing wrong to be hidden? That we maybe can be open with each other just as we are. And have fun, right? To play, to see each challenge as a dance, an opportunity to explore, to experiment, to see what's possible beyond what we can imagine. Impossible things happen all the time. So let's not get caught up in our ideas of what might happen or what's realistic or what has to happen first. Oh well, I won't be allowed to do that until I do this. All those ideas, we don't really know, do we? You know, as one of the speakers on the panel was saying, just going there and doing the thing that lights you up draws people to that. They want to light up too. Yeah. We can all be like flaming torches. And the batons all get lit. Are they batons? They're not batons, torches. They get lit. The light spreads. Huh? It just spreads and spreads. And if we're hiding our torch behind a cloak, well, it's kind of dangerous, isn't it? And it doesn't work. It's going to shine out anyway. So we might as well let it. To just be ourselves. Yeah. To allow that individuality, that beautiful expression, that creativity, that joy, that being in the world that each of us brings in a slightly, subtly different way, or perhaps not so subtle. That's what the world is crying out for each of us to do our thing in our own way, the way that feels just right to us. That this is the only authority really worth listening to. So if education is going to be a kind of training in obedience, let it be obedience to the heart, to what feels so true that it cannot be denied. Not some idea of how things should be, not some judgment of right or wrong, but that which is beyond, in that field, where we can all laugh and sing and dance and play and help each other out. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. We still have 5 minutes if anyone has a brave question. I would say that as a species, we're in an awkward period in our evolution. That's all. Just an awkward period. We're growing out of it, aren't we? That's why we're here. Right? Right? To help each other grow out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Good. Sure.
To obtain, they have assessments. They are constantly being assessed themselves.
Yeah.
And they would be without a job if they did that. Okay.
Well,
so
okay.
What does it mean in reality to teach this?
Sure.
How do we embody that?
Let's think of it as role-playing. The first time I flew back to America after September 11th, I was passing through immigration, and I got asked, or security, I got asked, do you have anything on you that could be used as a weapon, or that anyone might possibly imagine was a weapon? And my mind said it depends on the quality of imagination. But I knew that was not my line. In this play, I was on a stage, I was performing for the security guard, and my line in that situation was, no. It was a simple line, and I delivered it with great care and attention, right? Teachers are playing a role, and we're encouraged to take the role very seriously, so seriously that it hurts. But we don't have to take it that seriously. We can realize that we're playing a part. And so if someone comes in very serious and asks a security question, we know what our line is. And then when we're with the young people, we listen. The power of listening is to listen to what words, what way of being, what expression in that moment is the most helpful. We can trust that the right line will come to us if we're centered in the heart. When we're all kind of wobbly up here, anything can come out, right? But when we come downstairs, then the right words seem to come. Yeah? And that might take some practice. There's no expectation that will happen necessarily. But why not trust that it could? Why not open up to that possibility? And the more we do our consistent practice, a little yoga, a little pranayama, a little meditation every day, the easier that becomes to play our part. Even when it seems really serious, we can act very serious if we need to, but we can still be smiling on the inside. Right? We can also be compassionate for those people who come in very serious, because they're not having fun, are they? They're not enjoying it. They believe the play. They've bought the line. They're watching the movie in their heads, and they're convinced that their performance on the stage is the real thing. But if we know that it's not so serious as that, we can have a lot more fun, a lot more compassion, a lot more space for something very transformative to happen. Yeah? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, following on from what you said as well, the idea of, well, these children have to reach a certain level, get a job. Can yoga in schools, in your experience, help people find what their part is, the part that actually resonates with them? So, instead of thinking that they have to play the role of being a, I don't know, Ivy League graduate, banker, corporate lawyer, they actually find, I want to be a tree surgeon or, a surf coach or whatever. Can yoga help with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. yoga is helping us tune into the truth, right? And not a story, but the truth of what feels really right. The more, in our bodies, we learn to listen to our bodies. We learn to, so we don't just look at a shape and think, oh yeah, I should try to do that with my body. It doesn't really feel great. It's like, how do I create the space in a way that feels really sweet, that brings a spaciousness to my being, and that translates across all of life. What jobs do I do? What ways of being with other people feel really right and true? Which ones bring spaciousness? Which brings joy? Right? What do we do in our lives that make us happy? Oh wait, maybe that's the thing I should be doing, right? Maybe that's the thing. There's a really beautiful book about yoga philosophy and finding your path called The Great Work of Your Life. And it talks about the importance of tuning in very closely to what feels just right. He tells the story of a man who became a priest, and because he loved the church when he was growing up. And then he realized it was really the music at the church that he loved, and he wished he was the choir director instead. And the author of this book said, it's a little bit like falling in love and then moving in next door to that person, right? So we need to really listen inwardly to see what is the role that I want to play, or the role that wants to play through me, rather than what will give me the most money, or what will impress my parents, or what will save the world. Yeah, I went off to university to study. I thought I'd study environmentalism and chemistry to save the world with rational thought, because we were destroying the earth. I thought, I need to use my mind to fix it. And then I wasn't very good at the maths, and then I found psychology and feminism and women's studies and sociology and anarchy and all sorts of things, but they're all still in the mind. And that's, maybe all those times that people just kept talking to me on trains and telling me their stories. Maybe those times I helped people be more calm and relaxed. Maybe that counts as a thing to do. And maybe that is what really helps the world, right? So for each of us, for young people, we can help them tune in and listen, and help them notice, hey, you seem to really love that. Is it true? Do you love that? Does that light you up? There's a way to do that. There's going to be a way to do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.